Guys, welcome to Novak News Monday night. Gosh, that comes around quick. We have got something spectacular for you tonight. We are very, very fortunate to have real estate royalty is going to be joining us tonight.
One of the best in the world, apparently.
Yes, definitely, without a doubt, one of the best in the world.
According to the rankings, Tom Panos is, I think, number 3 in the world.
Yeah.
And what are we going to chat about?
No surprises there.
Do
you know what? We've got lots and lots that we want to talk about. We're going to be talking about referral systems and the importance of those.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about the market and what's going on at that sort of luxury end of the market. And we're also going to be talking about social media. It would be crazy if we didn't talk about social media.
How exciting.
We've got like the social media king who's about to join us.
The Guru Swami.
The Guru Swami. Let's patch in Tom. So guys, for those of you that have just tuned in, we have got Mr. Tom Panos who's going to be joining us in just a second. We're just going to patch Tom in right now.
He's approved.
Approved. Yes. I'm excited. Let's do this, guys. How fortunate are we? What have we got around the applause?
Crazy. The crowds are going crazy out there for Tom. Here he comes. Walking down the runway.
Connecting. Here we are. Yeah.
How are you, gang?
There he is. How are you, Tom?
Hello.
Hey, but let's be honest. You're the social media king and queens because I'm the first time that I'm sort of patching in as requesting to join your video. I've never actually done this myself.
Wow. First time. Look at that.
Virgin.
Who would have thought we could teach you something, Tom?
Can I ask you, is it, can you see me clearly?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
super clear.
The sound's all right?
Can you see us clearly?
Yeah, is the sound good?
Yep.
Hey guys out there, just give us a thumbs up. For those of you that have tuned in, just give us a thumbs up if the sound is great. And let's get cracking. We know you've had a big day. Have you just jumped off a plane?
Yes, I was, Lisa, I've had a big weekend because I had 9 auctions on Saturday and then I rushed to the airport and I flew into Auckland. I slept for 5 hours. A real estate gym member picked me up and drove me to Rotorua on Sunday morning. I had two sessions I had to speak at a property investor conference in New Zealand. And then I slept last night, woke up this morning and flew home. So I haven't really had a Sunday off, if you know what I mean. It's been,
Tom.
You need that Sunday to recharge.
I love how we define a big weekend now at this ripe old age that we all are. Not that we're old, but big weekend, would have been something different maybe 10, 15 years ago.
a big weekend would have been the black market at Chippendale.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. So what are we talking about? We've got lots to talk about. We're going to be talking about referrals and how that's changed because it's changed a lot. We're getting them all the time. So we're getting referrals from other agents referring us business.
Yep.
We're getting referrals from agents referring us buyers and vice versa. I know, Tom, your gym, your real estate gym has been phenomenal. It's been a phenomenal platform for us. Referring other agents. I've just used it actually and just had a successful sale out of it
today.
Well, Lisa, there's 2 bits I want to talk about there. The first bit is that people underestimate the fact that another real estate agent is in fact an influencer, right? And people underestimate. Huge. Like a real estate agent, if you think about it, is a client, it's a shot caller that can actually introduce you to multiple amounts of people. So it's actually a form of prospecting. And you guys do it good. Like you're immersed in that real estate gym community and you liaise with them offline and online. You talk to them. You have gym members that come over and visit you. You talk to them on Facebook and in the Facebook private page, and you always take their calls, and you've got known because you've produced, both you and Mark have done content in the gym like a number of times. Yeah. And I think sometimes when I come over to your office and we've done training and we shoot videos there, all of a sudden you get a bit of a brand within a community that's got thousands of members. And I think other real estate agents want to give business to people that they like and trust and they get on with, and not necessarily people that are in the same network as them.
Yeah, spot on. And you know what? Also, if someone's going to refer business to us, and then we're going to get that property sold, and it's just going to be this beautiful, effortless transition, they're going to continue doing that. They're going to talk to their network and say, hey, when you've got a Northern Beaches property, go see these guys. So it's all about building that respect and that rapport.
And it's allowed us as well to respect and admire other colleagues in the industry, Tom. So what it's actually done is we always think of, as real estate agents, we always think of B2C. So us being the business to the customer, but the B2B, which is, I guess, what we're talking about tonight, has been very, very good for us, because we've had our brand out there we thought it was for customers, but it's also been a double prong, whereas it's introduced to us to hundreds and maybe even thousands of real estate agents that we don't know about. So, and then the one common strain or denominator is that real estate gym. And this is by no means a plug for you, Tom. It's just a statement of the fact. But it's actually, that's been like the fabric that's woven it all in together. It's been really interesting to watch the amount of business we're doing that way now.
It's so much. I can't even start to tell you. It has been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And also, where did you used to go in the good old days? If I needed an agent in Gosford, where was I going to go?
Yeah, look, Lisa and Mark, it's just prompted me to maybe be more encouraging to the gym members that, hey, here's just another like, it's a training platform. But if you think about it, who are the people that are in it? People that want to improve and get better. So
athletes.
They're the ideal people you want to be referring business to. You want to be referring to people that are the ones that are in education mode, in innovation mode, in improvement mode. And look, I'm biased, but I actually think my personality seems to attract people that are dickheads, and they're the ones that seem to come into the group. And then you find that you get on better with those people. So that makes me happy. And I'm gonna take Mark's advice, and I'm going to actually amplify my messages to gym members. Hey, they're all over Australia. Buyers and sellers, refer to them. And you said to me before, Lisa, like, it's not only in DY, people hit you up about other areas to help buyers or sellers.
Oh my God,
I think these people, the agents that we're talking about, these guys are aggregators. They build up a brand and they build up trust, and they aggregate the knowledge and the customer base. Now, if that customer base needs advice, wherever it may be, they will turn to that real estate agent and they'll say, hey, who do you know in Northern Beaches, near Manly, near wherever? The guy is sitting in Goulburn. He goes, well, actually, I'm actually part of the top 100 or the gym or whatever it is. There's these guys that are good operators, and reciprocating. We admire and see operators within that gym.
Well, that's just happened. That just happened to me. I needed an agent up in Gosford. I put it out onto your real estate gym. The agent went ahead, listed the property, and then sold the property. Called me last week and said, hey, as a thanks, I've actually got a referral for you for a property in Narrabeen. I'm going to go appraise it tomorrow. So there's just this lovely thing happening that, where would that have ever happened before? There was never this platform for it to happen. So no, it's been great. But more than ever, we're seeing this referral. And I actually got, I had someone contact me off social media last week, true story. And he said, I love all the stuff that you're doing on social media. Could you come up and sell 5 properties for me in Darwin?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I don't know how that's going to work. Like, I don't know Darwin at all, but maybe I can refer someone from my network being real estate. Right?
Look, I reckon, Lisa, Mark, is it a good time for you to go to Darwin and combine it? Look, it's a long trip. It's fine. It's 5 hours. maybe have a 3 or 4 day holiday.
I'm not sure how I'd go in Darwin.
Darwin's up, isn't it?
I'm not sure how I'd go in
Is that a
Darwin.
bad question? Is Darwin up?
Darwin's up. After Darwin, you're not in Australia, Mark. You know.
Yeah.
Ever since they changed it from Ayers Rock to Uluru, and you couldn't walk on the rock, it's just we don't want to go there.
I don't know how I'd go in Darwin anyway, but all good. But you know, the thing is that I could put that out onto your real estate, Jim, and no doubt I'm going to find a great agent who would be able to list and sell the property up there. So that's a beautiful platform to be able to have. But yeah, it's changed significantly, hasn't it?
It's a big one, and Tom, thank you for it as well. Just quietly, because you know it's brought, particularly as an independent office, we were very Northern Beaches centric, and one thing that particularly since you've taught us to go digital years ago, and
you created monsters.
We nurtured that. We are still doing more business than multiples of business that we've been doing from years back in the beaches. But then it's also, it's had referrals inbound, which we've talked about, and referrals outbound that we've talked about.
Yeah.
Now, I know I'm putting money on that, but that's helping clients. That's actually helping clients accurately, referring good agents to them out of the area. We couldn't do that before, Tom.
No, that's right, exactly.
Yeah. Look,
you know what else? Sorry, go on.
Lisa, the other thing I was going to say is, but also because the theme of my gym, and maybe it's because it's the theme of the way I go about it. I'm massive on video and social to communicate to people, and I think what happens is that because they know that you're sort of on the fringes now, and you're doing everything else that was done in real estate, but you're doing an extra thing, right? And that's attractive to people, and it's important because as a trainer, a lot of the challenges, Lisa, that come to me, and I'm not going to mention names, but they happen to me, like, I would say maybe three times a week. This is the typical scenario. An agent that has done well for 10, 20 years, and then what happened is they got hit by the Sydney-Melbourne downturn in the last couple of years. Yeah. And then what's happened is now they've come out of it, but what's happened is they haven't moved on to stuff that is, it's saying to me, I'll just press mobile data here. You can still hear me, can't you?
Yeah.
So what's happened is they're struggling with anything that was previously done that now is done by something which is technology based, be it marketing of a property on social, be it electronic signing of paperwork, be it video, appearing in videos, doing live streams. There's a lot of good guys and girls that were writing $500,000 a year. Some of them were writing $700,000-800,000 a year in commissions, and they're overwhelmed. They're stressed because they're struggling. Like, if you ask them to come and do this live stream, that would be something like they would spend a week stressing over.
I agree.
To them, it would feel like, man, I can't do it. I don't want to go live. I'm scared. They're going to judge me. I'm going to stuff it up. I'll just stay where I am. But staying where they are is creating other problems, and that is that they're becoming irrelevant.
100%.
Someone else, if they don't step into it, someone else will.
They will. The new kid on the block will.
And I think these guys think it's only them, Tom. I want to. It's a bit of a head fuck, but I think people that are thinking that think it's just them. What's wrong with me? Why can't I do it? But when they realise that we were in the same pool, we were in the same crossroad, everybody was in the same crossroad, but what we actually chose to do was to embrace it. What they chose to do is ignore it. Now, after a couple of years of ignoring it, I think they then start questioning themselves. It's not about themselves. It's about just learning and applying those things making lots of mistakes. Lots.
Not only that, and I reckon I get about 20 to 30 calls a week or connections on social media with agents saying, so what do I do? How do I do what you're doing? How do I sell these properties on social media? What do I do? It's not that easy. It's like saying, Lisa, how did you lose all that weight? And I say, oh, well, here's the pill. Just take that, and tomorrow you'll wake up and you'll be 10 kilos lighter. That's what everyone wants to hear. It's not that simple. But the thing is that people also overthink things. If they realise that you've just got to start with one thing and do it really well, just get onto Facebook and just start videoing. That's it. Don't worry about what everyone else is thinking.
Whoever's watching this now live or watching it afterwards tonight when they've had dinner or whenever, they should do what you've said. Start where you're at. With your iPhone 6, if that's what you've got, with the current knowledge that you have, with the current followers that you have, with the current message that you have, with your current doubts that you have, with your current insecurities that you have, just start where you're at. And you know what will happen? You'll get better, and you'll probably upgrade your phone to a newer phone. And then what you'll do is you'll probably ring someone up and say, oh, do I have to hold the phone, or I'll just get one of these things? That's right. You know is, oh, I'll just get myself a thing. And then before you know it,
and before you know it, you're Mark, and your whole house and office is like a friggin' Apple store.
But Tom, you know something that I've realised? Each time I get through that door, another door presents itself. So you know what you just said about then I upgrade my phone. Well, then you do that, and then you go, oh shit, now it's the light. Then you get through that door, and you get through the door. You now got a light on your table the night at work. Then as you have to get through those doors for the other doors to present themselves.
But you know what? Can I say
that's called stuffing up.
No, guys, people still don't understand it. The only way I ever get people to truly understand it is when I liken it to exercise. Because everyone's gone through it. All right? And also, like the guy who called me today.
We're different that way, where I'll keep pushing the challenging thing, but Lisa's super consistent.
But I had a guy who called me today and he said, Lisa, I love what you do, and I'm a really good agent in my area. I don't even know where to start. And I said to him, it's like a diet. It's like a diet. Hang on.
I've been trying to get Lisa to use this simple instrument for 4 months now, and ask her once a week, and she still won't.
No.
But before you go on that, Mark, I'm convinced that little Rode gun mic is good on video. But I think I've used one ages ago. When you use that on live stream, does it go staticky, or you use it on live stream?
At the beginning, it can go static.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Look, can I tell you, guys, listen, this is what works. Your iPhone, any iPhone, any mobile device, and your arm, because you always have those two things with you. Anything else is just a waste of time, because the idea is we need it instantly and we need it quickly, and we want to get content up fast.
And
for me, I don't want to stuff around with all these little devices.
I love stuffing around it. But the real estate agents are the best storytellers in any business, I believe. I believe a rural or country real estate agent is in a bar is the best goddamn storyteller. And it really upsets me that storyteller can't take their story to digital and online and keep telling those stories. That's all they're doing.
Yeah, it's so true.
The hard bit's to be the storyteller, not the technology. And we're in those positions ready to go, and they just don't optimize on it. It's weird.
Yeah. Look, the reality of it is people have just got to get on it, okay? So like what you were saying, Tom, you've got these $1 million agents that are out there, and they're almost dying commodities, okay? Because they're not moving with the times.
Dangerous.
They're going to be dinosaurs. It is dangerous. They need to get on it. The new kids on the block, they're going to overtake them. And
also, Tom, I know we strayed a little bit from the core topic, but this is fun. How long did it take to get critical mass in your business? Is how long it's going to take to get critical mass in our business, particularly with social. For anything to get good, it takes time, and we give up very easily. So any agents that aren't selling on social, in that first week or that first month or that first 6 months. They'll often abort mission, but they've started building a tribe.
Okay, so that's what this is what this gun agent said to me. I won't say where he's from, but he said that to me today. He said, I don't know, but we tried social media and it didn't work. I said, but it's like you saying to me, I tried the diet for a week and I didn't lose 5 kilos.
Yeah, he's used the sample size of 1 week, and that's like a guy that says to me, hey, my Uncle Bob smoked 3 packets of cigarettes a day and he died at 95, so that's all bullshit. And my response is, well, you need more than a sample size of 1 person. It would be good to actually get a study of 10,000 people and see what actually happens. I think a lot of people make decisions on anecdotal evidence. What we clearly know is that the device that I'm looking into right now and the device that other people are looking at us right now has in fact replaced the television, which is on my left, right? Which doesn't get that. My TV does not get that much viewing anymore. Like it. I mean, my iPad and my iPhone get my eyeballs.
And your wife.
Yeah.
So let's say that again.
And your wife.
and my wife gets a glance.
Mark keeps saying he's going to replace me with 2 20s.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't know. That means you're on notice, Lisa, doesn't it?
Yeah. Got to keep on toes, you know what I mean?
I've got to make sure I don't get made redundant. But no,
Correct.
it is. Look, it's a changing industry. It's changing really fast. I saw it, as you know, I came into sales just 2 years ago, and I saw it as I was coming in. I was like, this industry is stuck in a time warp. Since I said those words, it's changed significantly over those 2 years. So fast, it was like a fireball had ripped through the industry.
Well, what you're doing, Lisa, the one thing I'll notice about you guys are doing is you're not deviating on frequency and regularity, and you're basically now sort of etching into people's mind, this is the time we're on, this is the day we're on, this is what we're doing for the various segments that you have on. And I have to say that that's important because people like predictability. That's why you'll actually notice, like rugby league or sport, they don't have one game on Monday and then one game on Tuesday. And then they say, what they know is this is Friday night game, right? And I'm going to tell you this, you can go back, anyone can go back on my Facebook posts. I have not missed a Sunday night rant in years from when I started. I never missed one.
I wondered what was going to happen to you last night because I knew that you were flying to New Zealand. And
so I was flying. So what happened is I used Premiere. So I've used about 10 Premieres. I reckon maybe 8 Premieres in the 4 years, right? Which is pretty much people think you're live anyway because they're saying, hi, Tom, how you going, blah, blah, blah.
And you're not responding.
But what I was going to say is that's been important. And the reason why it's important is people love predictability, people like certainty. And I've done it. I've got to tell you, there were times I've done it. Like, I know there must be days on a Monday where you feel to yourself, hey, I could easily get into the car now and drive home and do something else, right?
Yeah.
There are other days that, you know, you love it, but I'm saying there are certain days. I've done the Sunday night rant. Like, the Sunday night rant has gone through two rounds of illness. So if you picture it, it was 9 months of chemo, one lot, and then 9 months of chemo, another lot. And it always, you know, went on, right? So even if I felt shit, like what happens is on video, I think you can, even if you're not feeling fantastic, you can still put on a show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? You can still put on a show. You know, you get a light, brighten yourself up, you know.
Bit of
it's still
makeup,
good.
bit of bronzer.
Yeah.
We're all good. Couple of
Right?
lights.
You can,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
But-
100%.
So let's move on. Let's move on and talk about, because I know that, so one thing is for sure, if you're an agent that's watching this, start where you're at, wherever you're at, with your current knowledge. Even if your current knowledge is that, hey, I've got an old phone, I'm going to hold it in my hand, and I'm going to get one viewer. You start there, because every winner was once a beginner.
Without a doubt. And the thing is that even with the sales that I'm doing off Facebook, sorry, Mark, I didn't mean to cut you off, but even with the sales that I'm doing off Facebook, I don't have actually that many followers on my Facebook account. I think I looked at, there was maybe 1,900. That's not a lot considering I've just done my 25th sale off social media. Okay. I think people expect I've got this gigantic audience, this gigantic following. The reality of it is you don't have to. It will just go viral.
Well, Lisa, let's have a look at this. There are people today that would have spent 3 hours to try and speak to around 20 people, right? On a phone, one-on-one, right? So you turn around and you say, hey, if you can produce some content that will get 300-400 people, and that content took you half an hour, it sounds like to me that's a useful half hour of your life.
100%.
And Tom, it's just frightening. It's absolutely frightening. I've for some reason I've always sort of backed the right horse in a way with our business in the last 20 years, but it just seems.
I thought he was talking about me.
I was. But it just seems like this direction that it's going, this digital direction that it's going, mate. It just, and this is to the audience. It is not going away. It is not being buried. It is not a fad. These guys have these apps open majority of their time now at work. They have these apps open on their PC at work. They have them open at night. And those top 3 apps are all social. They have taken over your time.
Well, guess what?
And I don't think we can fight it anymore. We've got to support it.
We used to ban Facebook in our office. True story. About, I reckon, 4 or 5 years ago, it was no Facebook. You had Facebook on. That was almost means for a warning letter. It was just
that's
all changed. Now it's like you've got to have Facebook.
Really changed.
Here's my observation. When I'm a curious and a little bit of a nosy person, and when a plane lands, and I sort of have a plane that lands maybe 5 times a week, right? So 5 times a week a plane lands, and straight away people go into their phone and they get rid of the airplane mode and they wait for their phone to come on, and I quickly just turn my left eye or my right, wherever I'm sitting, and I have a look, and I notice that
everybody's on red tube.
That's right. And what they'll do, I get sus about the ones that hold it at an angle like that, right? But most people, what I notice is they look at a text message and Facebook. They're the 2 things after not being to be able to touch their mobile for an hour because of no reception. But now with certain airlines, you even have got the ability to have Wi-Fi up in on certain flights, not on every flight,
Massive.
But what I just noticed is people feel unconnected if they haven't been on their social media for an hour and a half.
100%.
It's
100%.
It's just this habitat. It's habitat now. It's there. I personally, if you had to ask me to choose, I wasn't a supporter, I wasn't a fan. I can't go against it. If I had to choose, if I had to opt out 3, 4, 5 years ago, clearly would have opted out. But now it's like, you know what, it's habitat.
Do you know what? We just had a conversation in our office today because we wanted to see how many people were unsubscribing from our email newsletter that goes out every 2 weeks. Okay. Right. And the unsubscribes were significant. Now, I said, hang on a sec, are people actually looking at email newsletters anymore, though? Surely these days people are all camping on their social media. That's overtaken it. So where the unsubscribes on email newsletters might be a little bit larger, the subscribes on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn are tenfold. You know,
I
hate emails.
I only look at emails from certain people. Like,
same here.
That I screen the name of who sent it, and then I read it. The other ones, I'm not really reading the emails. I look at who sent. I actually look at the sender. I don't look at the message.
I agree.
And,
I agree.
Yeah.
Because that's overtaken it. And also to me, like, an email is so barbaric, and it's so, you know, it's just not instant enough. I know that if I'm going to get content up onto my social media, it's going to be instant. And sometimes I've gone and I've filmed a property and within 2 hours it's sold. And then I look at some of these other agents that are out there, they're still photographing and getting floor plans drawn up and getting it onto property portals. And then they're doing auction campaigns. And I'm like, for God's sakes, I've already sold the property and settled by then.
At a phenomenal price.
At a phenomenal price. You know, so I'm not suggesting for a moment that those property portals don't have a place. Of course they do, and the intention is always to get out to those property portals. It's just, if I can have you sold within a matter of hours for a phenomenal price, what the hell are we waiting 4 weeks for an auction campaign for?
Yeah, look, and my issue with videos and mobile phones is, like, there's every reason in the world that I should actually have a videographer with me all the time, right? But my issue with speed is there is nothing that can come fast as shoot and upload, because people just, like, you know what it's like when they send you a file 2 days later on Dropbox and you download it and you think to yourself, man, life's changed since the day I shot that video, right? You know,
Tom,
I'm thinking different.
Do you remember the conversation I had? I think we maybe when we sort of first met a couple of years ago, and I remember distinctly saying to you, I don't understand what's wrong with this industry, because if you can order an Uber and it can be at your door in 5 minutes, or you can order a hamburger and it's at your door in 10 minutes, why are people waiting this long to get their properties online and sold?
Yeah.
Times are changing. Yes, there's still a place for all of it. There's still a place for emails. There's still a place for property portals. But this social media, I'm telling you now, it's going through our industry like a fireball. And if you are not on there, get on it, because you could potentially be a dying commodity. And I keep saying it.
And Tom, I can't. And I just from perspective from people out there that are not operating in that digital market, I get it, because you speak to the agents that are successful with it, but the amount of business that we are churning out hard from Facebook, from LinkedIn, from Insta, hardcore. The amount of I'm just thinking to myself, what are the other guys doing?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like I don't want to tell anyone. I won't actively, you know, but I'm happy to chat about it because I'm so passionate that it's great and it works. But it's certainly something that we don't want to go out and train our competitors on locally either. So this is just massive. It's
enormous. I mean,
it's incredible.
We were sitting at lunch yesterday at Cafe Sydney. We were there. Our daughter had graduated university, and some waiter came up to me and said, "Hey, I think I just saw you on my friends. Were you on a girl called Amanda's Facebook doing a video? Is your name Lisa?" I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, this is the power of it. And it's all that, and look, you, no doubt you would get that happening to you all the time, but it's that connection that is winning us listings. It's winning us sales.
Now this guy was 22. He went to Cromer High School, which is the worst school in Australia. It's the most. So, you know, it's a school I went to as well, so I can say that.
I always say to Mark, if you say Cromer High fast enough, it sounds like grammar. If you just say Cromer.
Where'd you go? Grammar.
Sounds like grammar.
Yeah, Cromer High. Anyway, this is a Cromer High School student. He's in his early 20s. How the heck is he going to help our business? I tell you how. when he's talking to mum and dad or grandma, he will talk about, yes, I saw these guys on social. Yes, I saw them out with their family. Like, that is just how do you make those connections? And so many of them, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. So agents that are watching, and I can see there's quite a few on here. You've got to get on there. Just start slow. Just keep doing it over and over again. It's that repetition, and I swear to God, you will get there.
You got it.
Much like exercise. Guys, any questions out there? I saw Mark on RedTube.
Jeff Luby said he saw me on RedTube. That would be, there's probably a couple of lookalikes like me. Any other question, guys? I haven't been on RedTube. I've been on it, but I haven't been on it, if you know what I mean.
Maybe in his last life.
Yeah.
Maybe in his last life. All right, anything else that we want to add, guys?
There we've got, guys. Tom can't see the questions, so send the questions to us.
Lots of lovely comments coming through. Tom, anything else that we want to add? What's going on? What's going on out there in real estate world? Can you just give us a quick 360 of what's happening out there? You're the eye that is on the ground.
I did 8 out of 9 auctions on Saturday. They sold, and they sold pretty well. Look, I said to Mark off camera this afternoon. Yes, the market is good. Stock's starting to free up. There's a lot of talk, you know, at that higher end of the market. The properties that are saying 4 million and over, there's quite a few at the moment that aren't going crazy. And 3 agents told me the same thing. Hot buyers that they had, banks got hard on them at the higher level because of so don't get me wrong, banks have got easier with lending, but what they're doing is at the higher level in the last 2 weeks, what they're saying is if you're showing a $400,000 salary and you're showing bonuses, we want to have a look at your bonus scheme. We want to see how many years you've got your bonus scheme. We want to see more information that's going to give us certainty that you're going to get that salary. So at the higher end, I'm seeing a little bit more microscopic views by the banks. I am seeing a little bit more stock come on. I am seeing a little bit more stock come onto the market. I don't think things. My view is that there's been some incredible results in the last month or 2. I don't think that things are going to keep going crazy and crazy. I'm putting my neck out there, and I'm going to say that we're going to look back and say that period between the federal election and October, there was some really high prices on certain properties, but we're going to see regular stock levels come in. We're going to see average absorption rates. And I think we're going to see a good market, but I think there's no fear of a boom happening, you know?
Yeah, it's going to start to, I reckon it's going to start to plateau out. I'm actually saying to a lot of vendors, now's a great time to come on. It's a bit of a sugar hit. And so, you know, if you want a crazy price for your property, often vendors are getting it. How long is that going to last for? I don't think it's for you for the long haul.
My take is if you want to work out what the market's doing, the horse that I would be backing is one property owner purchases. One property owner purchases. If you have a second property or a third property, you will be absolutely raped, like you've suggested, Tom, with banks. If you're a first home buyer, if you're upgrading your one and only home, times are good, the market is strong. I reckon back the one property owner.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Look, I think that sounds like a very sound concept. I mean, to me, we've got, how long have we got, guys? We've got 4, 5, we've got about, like, I'm booking options now for middle to late November. There's an option 15th of December is a Saturday off the top of my head. 22nd or 22nd is a Saturday.
Yeah.
There's a great term called on FM, which is October, November, February, March, right? If you look at your income as a real estate agent, on FM being October, November, February, March is time where there's a fair bit of transactions that take place. If you go over the previous years, you'll notice that's heavily dominated in those 4 months, right? And I think we're seeing that now. Yeah, but I'm also, you know what? I think at the end of the day, it's to me at the moment, real estate, there's just so much I can read up about. I can read about prop tech issues. There's so many things that are happening in property tech issues. There's so many things happening with banks. Buyers are sort of curious. Real estate at the moment, if you went and surveyed 100 people out in the street, real estate is back on people's lips again, you know? I can sense
what? It's
it.
about time. I swear to God, we've been stuck in a time warp for so long. It's been such a mundane industry for so long where everyone does the same thing that everyone else does. It's about time. I reckon it's exciting times.
And 2.89% interest, are you serious? Like, it is 70% less than what it was 10 or 15 years ago. Like, that is just a dream. You know, borrow all the money and the tenant will pay your mortgage. That is a dream come
100%.
true.
Can I ask you guys a question? Because I know that you've got a bit of a slant, and I know Mark has got pretty good understanding of the commercial, industrial investment sector. All of a sudden, I myself am looking at and thinking to myself, is commercial, industrial investments a sound investment? And I noticed that 7-Eleven are selling 15 of their outlets. They want to raise $70 million.
Yep.
Can I ask, putting you on the spot, a 7-Eleven with a service station on there that has a 12-year lease to 2031 and a 20-year option that gives you 7%, what's your initial feeling on something like that?
Look, I used to get freaked out, but now they're very clever. They're selling EPA reports with these service stations, which is the chemical under the ground. People were like, I don't want to get into that because I don't know what's underneath the ground. Now they're selling these EPA reports. First thing is I'd be very, very conscious, because when they do that core drilling on EPA reports, sometimes these sites you want 40 to 50 core drills to test all the dirt. A lot of these EPA reports they're giving out only have like 10 core samples or 5 core samples. It's not really enough. That's the fundamental thing. The toxics is the biggest thing I'd be worried about. Once you get, because the tanks leaked, the older tanks, once you get past that, just talking as an investment or a yield basis, I think very good, because you're getting, you know, your money's cheap. I wouldn't be factoring in that the interest rates at that loan level for a long time, but certainly some of the suburbs those 7-Elevens have come in are excellent suburbs. They're very good capital growth suburbs. So people fundamentally miss out, Tom. They chase the rent, which is the yield, but they miss the growth, which is the capital growth. So their rent may be 5%, but the capital growth is often 10%. That's 15%. But what people do is they go, oh my God, it's in Brisbane and it's rented for 7% or 8%. I love it and it's residential. I'm going to take it. It's like, guys, what's the capital growth done in the last 10 or 20 years? I don't know. Not very well. So when you're chasing your income, Tom, chase yield and chase capital growth. Combine those two. I think the 7-Elevens at 7% are phenomenal. They're often triple net returns, so that's they're paying all the bills for you, land tax and stuff like that. And then I think if you're getting capital growth coming in behind that, because you bought in a suburb that's very sought after, like a 7-Eleven in the Haberfield or a 7-Eleven in the Collaroy, but a 7-Eleven where there's where land is very cheap and there's an abundance of real estate, like oversupply, I think you may miss the capital growth, but you'll get the gain. But you're not, you know, you've got 7%, but you haven't got the 10%. Do you know what I mean? So be careful, Queensland, Melbourne.
What do you think? Do you think the fact that, you know, cars are going to come, you know, more cars will be battery charged?
Yes,
Do you think,
I was just going to say that.
100%.
Because not just 7-Eleven selling out, isn't it? Caltex as well.
Yeah, they are. The Caltex are dumping as well.
Yeah, Caltex is as well.
That's an interesting one as well, because I think the more affluent suburbs will be dumping service stations more, and the blue collar workers,
lower
suburbs,
socioeconomic areas. You think?
Yeah. I think that's what's going to definitely happen. And get this one, Tom. This is a crazy one. We live on a busy street, and I've been saying the last couple of years, it's okay. Give it about 5 years, it's going to be a quiet street. And Lisa's like, you're an idiot. What do you mean? I'm like, you know what? Affluent suburbs, they are all going to be driving electric cars, irrelevant to what the brand is. Yeah. Get your mind off Tesla, everyone. Every brand will be electric, and then every road will be quieter, and then it'll end up going from the higher wealth suburbs down to the lower wealth suburbs, and that's what's going to happen. So I reckon tipping buying on a main road is not a bad horse to back.
Well, on that issue, I said it to you before. I think the Novaks, the perfect car for the Novak business is a Tesla. No. Like if you think about it, you've got the award from the REB, and you're up for a realestate.com Innovation Award next month. I think their awards are on, right? Yeah. So you turn around and say the most innovative car manufacturer is Tesla. Yeah. Even if you don't like the look of the car, it's actually a good business strategy that you've got a Tesla parked outside the Novak.
I think you're absolutely right. I want to buy Lisa a Tesla.
So no, I don't want a Tesla. Listen, do you know why he wants to drive one? So that he can do his social media while he's driving, because the car drives itself, right?
Well, you can have the car driving yourself. I think actually him, Bernard Desmond, another gym member that I know that you've got. He took me for a drive in his Tesla a few months back in Melbourne when he picked me up from the airport, and he was showing off how he could drive hands-free.
That's what he wants to do.
It was all exciting. The only thing is it took me like an hour to get to my destination because in the process, the car didn't actually swap lanes. It sticks to the white lights, and we missed the turn off. So the issue was it drives by itself, but I got there like at 11 o'clock at night.
That's so good. That's so good. Listen, soon we'll have drones. Don't worry about these cars. But let's just set the record straight. I don't want a Tesla. He's going to get one. You guys can have your Tesla talks together.
All right. Anyway, can I ask you?
Yeah.
Lisa, since you've come into sales and you've become client facing, and all of a sudden, you're sort of spending a lot more time with Mark. Example, driving home after work. How does it feel? Like, I've always been curious. A marriage where the people work together, does work? You guys don't stop talking work till you go to sleep. Okay, would it be right to say?
Okay, yeah. So can I just tell you how the day is? We're like Bib and Bob. It's hysterical. So we walk together first thing in the morning, very early. All right. So there's already an hour and 15 minutes of talking. Then we have breakfast together.
Coffee together.
We have breakfast together.
At the coffee shop.
Oh, then we have coffee together first at the coffee shop. Then we have a little quick breakfast together. Then we actually go our own separate ways because Mark drives in separately to me.
2 cars.
We need our cars.
2 cars. Okay, I didn't know that.
We have to have 2 cars. Yeah. So we drive in separately. Then we get into the office. The funny thing is that we actually don't talk at all during the day because I'm busy.
Do you have lunch together?
No, God, hardly ever. Hardly ever. Today, funnily enough, today we did, but lunch together was just a quick tin of tuna on Cruscats. I mean, nothing overly romantic.
And do you leave the office the same time?
No, never. No, because we've got appointments. I'm generally out all day. Mark's with clients. Yeah, we're doing our own thing. We actually don't really talk at all during the day until we get home at night. And then, we don't really want to talk about business at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. We do have a life. We do have a life as well.
I think some people we spoke to in the industry that do it, some struggle with it, some just, it's bloody easy. It's one or the other.
You know what?
Extreme or the other.
Can I tell my parents actually worked together. They ran a very, very successful business together. When, as a husband and wife, you can work together and it works, it's a really magical combination. But most people can't do it.
Yeah,
Most people can't do it.
It's rare, but I also noticed.
But Tom, I'm actually the perfect husband, Tom. Just so you know, I'm the ultimate human being. It's pretty hard not to live with. Like if you and I were living together, Tom,
listen, he's going to bring out his hairy chest in a minute.
You would not struggle at all living as a flatmate with me. You actually, a matter of fact, after a month, you would say, "I have the perfect flatmate."
Wow.
Yeah.
Lisa, do you concur with that, or is that a bit of chest beating?
Look, he definitely has his moments. He has his moments. But yeah, do you know, the crazy thing is, considering the amount of hours we spend together, we actually really argue. I can see some of my girlfriends on here. We really rarely argue. And look, Tom, you know us. Whether we're here talking to you on a camera or we're face to face, we're the same. We're not going to change. We're the same in business. We're the same in our private life. But you know, that's the way we are.
Well,
but it works.
I've got to tell you, I'm convinced.
I've really good toilet, Tom. I have really good toilet time as well. So often I just exit to the toilet in the office or exit to the toilet at home.
What's that got to do with
I'll go missing for very long time, so I'll be on my phone.
Then I can have a break from
That's
it.
my quiet time
Well,
at home.
Toilet, for many people, toilet may be the only time they're not stalked by anyone, whether it's their kids, staff, partners. So,
Yeah.
If I was to train anyone, that would be my training.
Oh, God help us.
Good toilet time.
God help us. All right,
so
guys.
Can I just ask you before we finish off,
Yes.
just for my own information, I'm just having a look. We've been talking so long, it says 10% battery here. I'll just press that there.
We have. This is the longest NOVAK news we've ever had. We can keep talking all night. We don't care.
Wow.
So can I
This is going to cost us so much money.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Can I just ask you right now, what are you talking into? A tablet, a computer, or an iPhone?
I'm going to take a photograph. I'm going to send you the setup. It is actually so ridiculously professional. I don't know how the hell this has been set up. So at the moment we're talking into an iPhone. We've got some other big camera here as well. I don't think anyone can see that.
I think you can see that.
We'll take a photo.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see it.
I know.
But are you talking into an iPhone?
So
Yeah, we're talking into an iPhone at the moment.
So
yeah.
there's an iPhone there.
Yeah.
There's another. That's the camera we use during the day, the big fella.
Yeah.
Then down below, we've got this this microphone, two little microphones.
Yes.
Those little puppies.
Can you see all
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
We'll go
I
close
can.
up.
It's hard to see, but I can see. Yeah.
Hard to
Okay.
see. And then the lapel mics, and the.
Have you got the lapel mics on?
Yeah,
Yes,
lapel mics
yes.
on, yeah. And lights.
And then there's two big lights.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll take a photo of a couple of
We'll
the,
take a
of the
photograph
setup,
and we'll show you the
and I'll
setup.
put it in the comments below.
But do you know what, guys? Don't get freaked out by all of that, because the bottom line is all you need is your iPhone.
Well,
Right.
look, I tell you what
It's up here.
I learned.
Yeah.
I had this on. I use this for my Sunday night rant, which is basically this mic that just plugs in. And what I noticed is when I had it plugged into the phone today, I
Yeah.
couldn't hear you, right?
You could have put it.
I couldn't hear you because it's coming through this,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Right, yeah.
So the answer, if I'm ever doing this with you again, where I join in a live stream as a guest, the simple answer is to have the Apple headphones that plug in,
Yeah, that's
that
what we
allow
do.
you to speak through there and
Yeah.
to listen there. That
Yeah,
would be the answer.
yeah, that's what we do.
Just
yeah,
a piece
yeah.
of advice on that. Make sure your recipient is using the same. If you're doing a conference call like we're doing tonight, make sure the recipient's on their AirPods as well. So you have your AirPods in, they have their AirPods in. Because we do it every morning. We did it for the last 3-4 months. We had a lot of problems if we didn't both use AirPods.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically the other people have to have it as well. But I mean, look, to be honest with you, this sound that people are probably listening is not perfect, but it's more than sufficient, you know?
Yeah. No, it's worked really, really well. Yeah. I have no idea how this whole setup worked. I'm hopeless. People call me and ask me technology questions. I'm like, I don't bloody know. All I know is I can turn my phone on, press go live on my social media. That's all I need to know. That's it. That's all I want to know.
If you're a good storyteller, you're going to dominate social.
Yeah.
I've got to tell you, I think social media is not technology. I think social media is psychology. That's what I think it is. You know?
Wow.
Anyway, guys, can we?
Tom, thank you
I'm
so
looking at
much.
the people. There's a lot of people on here. Angelo says meetings in the toilet.
Taney,
you know?
hey Taney, how are you, legend?
You know, there's been a lot of people. I'm just having a look. You know, some really good agents on here tonight. Wow, look at this. Will Torres. You know.
So you can you see on your end? Can you see as well on your end all the people, Tom?
I can see who's watching and I can see comments.
Ah, right.
Okay. I wonder if we're seeing the same comments. Anyway, interesting. We're all still learning. Tom, thank you so much. I'm sure you had better things to do at 8 o'clock on a Monday night when you.
No, I've enjoyed this. This was fun, social for me.
You're a legend. You're a legend. Listen, we've got to get you to come in, and then you and Mark can have like this is like the new age man cave. You guys can just come in with some beers and just hang out and go through all this technology.
Yeah.
That'll be the next day.
I do learn things from Mark, and the reason I learn things from Mark is curious, so he goes off. I'll give you an example. At around 4 o'clock today, we were talking, and what he's doing is, as we're speaking, he's curious and he's going in there and he's trying out. And what it is that's a big learning, because what this is all about is there's no course, there's no template, there's no system, there's no plan. This is simply a day-to-day hack, and the person that's the most curious is the person that wins. Now, if you're blessed to be curious about something like this, man, it's even fun. But if you're not blessed to be curious, the good news is these mobile phone companies and these platforms have made it so easy that if you've got an IQ of 85, like, I'll be honest with you, if you're the sort of person that struggles with shampoo instructions, you'll probably struggle. You'll struggle. But I think that 95% of people, Facebook, video, iPhone, Samsung, Insta, LinkedIn, it's possible.
I agree.
Yeah, it's true.
I agree. I am the most non-IT savvy person you could possibly meet. God, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. That's it. All right, guys. Have a great night. Tom, thank you so much.
Thanks, Tom.
We adore you.
Now, before you hang up, I'm curious, and I'm going to try and leave myself, if that's okay. I want to see whether I can exit by actually. Okay,
I'll do an applause. I'll do an applause while you're going.
This is like a date for nerds.
I'll do an applause.
Okay, it works. It works. What it does, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to press this button here. And that actually shows the back of the studio. I press that here, and I'm exiting. I'm pressing the cross. See you later, guys.
See ya.
See you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Guys, that's a take. Thank you so much, Mr. Tom Panos, one of the best trainers in real estate in the country.
And honestly, Mark, you called Tom at about 4:30 this afternoon, and everyone knows the hectic schedule he's got, and he made time. He moved things aside. Most importantly, family time, no doubt, because he's been away a bit to jump on and do this with us. So what an absolute legend. We hope you guys got something out of it. We really do. Obviously, we went way over time, but we had to, because it was a very, very special segment tonight.
Massive.
So it was good. We had fun.
Awesome. Yeah.
Hope you guys got something out of it. Truly do. Share it. As Tom would say, share the post if you loved it. Share it with your friends. And we'll see you guys next Monday.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
See ya. What are you saying, Kate? It's such a nerd.